Hello everyone, I'm Jack, and welcome to episode 50 of the Save File podcast. In this episode, we're chatting about Halo Infinite's cut features, Sony getting their hands deeper on FromSoft, and the next Assassin's Creed finally has a name. Joining me today is Ant. How you going, Ant?
Hey, what's up? I'm back.
I'm back again, yes. Welcome back. Josh, how are you?
Howdy. Doing pretty well.
And last but not least, maybe least, Sharp.
Get fucked, maybe least.
Definitely least.
Shut up, Josh.
Oh, you're welcome. Look, guys, we're up to 50 episodes.
Yeah.
How?
That's
Why?
50 hours, roughly, of us complaining.
That basically is what it is, isn't it?
This is also the episode where we also have this new format going on right now.
Oh, yes,
that
observe.
will be interesting to see.
Observe.
Observe future us
Observe.
problems.
Future us will look back at this. Anyway, you guys will say that when it happens, but I think, guys, we should talk about some game stuff. I want to start with, one of the biggest games was released in the last year, and that's Halo Infinite. Now, 343 have had Halo for close to 15 years, if not quite that. And, there have been some rocky things along the way. And they keep promising stuff. And here we are with Infinite, and they are getting rid of split-screen co-op, and staple of the franchise, and it's a bit of a shock to a lot of people.
I mean, getting rid of is... I don't know. I wouldn't word it like that.
Stopping work on it.
Yeah, they're essentially saying, you will not have local co-op in the campaign.
Which is the only reason I would even consider buying it.
To me, this is a really strange move, because it's been a core staple of the franchise, and it's been one of the only games, probably one of the only AAA games you can literally play the entire campaign co-op.
It's a lot more fun that way.
Yeah, it's a beloved
And
feature.
a lot of people... And look, you will be able to play online co-op, just not split screen. But I feel like a lot of people, they grew up with the franchise, like we know with a lot of our mates, Sharps, and I know you guys as well. Yeah. That's how they got onto Halo. That's how they got into gaming even, was playing split screen co-op with their mates, playing Halo.
Yeah.
So, them just deciding that, hey, we're going to get rid of it, basically because they want to focus on the online features.
Getting real sick of companies doing that. Well, it's a weird thing for them to do, just because it doesn't feel like local co-op would be that hard to do if you already have online co-op. Wouldn't that be much easier?
Do you remember that saying where they say, if you don't learn from history, you're doomed to repeat it?
Yeah.
Do you guys remember this?
Love that saying.
Do you guys remember that this happened with Halo 5 as well? Where they announced, we're not going to have local co-op, and then everyone lost it?
Yeah, because they were like, hey, we would like local co-op, please.
Yeah, and they, I remember leading up to the release of Infinite, people were, actually saying, I want to play through this in co-op with my friends. I really hope they're bringing that feature back. And they said they were working on it. They just said it wouldn't be there at launch. But, it's not being in there now. Can I just say, this is why I never trust roadmaps. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but it's becoming a fucking trend now, and I hate it. Where developers are like, no, we're really going to support the game. We have a roadmap.
Yeah.
And that happens, and then 3 months later, they abandon the roadmap.
Look, I'll argue for roadmaps with betas and early access games. But yeah, with games that are already fully released, you've got to start asking questions.
You did say beta twice. I'm not sure why you did that.
No, as in beta and then early access.
Yeah, beta and then beta.
Yeah.
But they're the same thing.
Give me the remarkable difference between those two things.
No, but in my head, I see early access is we are releasing the game for people to play it. You would understand it's not the finished product. Whereas I see a beta is This is a small slice test of the game that we're showing off.
Okay, so if I released a beta to Steam for $15, and then I released an early access game to Steam for $15, tell me what is the difference between those two products?
In my eyes, in early access, I know it's not the complete product.
It's got the word beta in it, though.
Look, we could argue. I know we could. Look, we could argue about this for ages, but what I think. Look, I think it's crap that they're literally just giving up on this.
It's probably
doesn't
because it's
help
not
when-
popular enough of a game, honestly. And then they're just like,
Well,
oh,
yeah,
well, it
I
didn't
think
hit market expectations, so we're not going to support it like we wanted to.
What it also comes down to is it's not a feature that is fundamentally going to get the money, whereas microtransactions, working on more seasons, working on that sort of content, where you have to pay for it, will just, you know...
Listen, I'm just saying, guillotine.
Yeah.
I'm so, like, it's hard to be excited for a game when the developer basically says, well, I'm not going to do anything that's fun. I'm just going to do the stuff that, like, you can pay me for. It's like, okay.
No, I agree. 100%. That's what's happening.
Yeah, that's a great way to get people who are even a little bit savvy. I guess people just aren't. It's just a bit.
I think the really fun part of this was there was a Reddit thread and a few tweets of people going, "Oh, well, you can actually do it anyway. Here's how with this bug and glitch to make it happen
serious?
anyway." Yeah.
So they could
So
literally.
people have worked out how to do it.
It's in the game already.
you're like-
How hard is it to do?
Yeah, but people were like, how much more effort could it actually take just to completely implement it?
Well, you have online multiplayer, like co-op. So what's
Exactly.
the difference? Wouldn't it be easier? You don't need any networking information.
It's weird. It's like, if you've already got it there, just do it. Like, it can't be that hard.
And like
Honestly,
we
can't
are
be
saying
that
like it can't be that hard, but it can't be that hard for a multi-million-dollar company.
Correct. For a company that literally has all the money in the world they could possibly ask for from Daddy Microsoft. That's the truth of it. Like, regardless of, you go, oh, it's like a team that's, just been going along fine. Well, this team has had Halo for 15 years, and look, I'm not a Halo fan, so I'm only speaking of stuff I've seen and from word of mouth. Halo hasn't really hit that well since they got it. Since Bungie
Halo
did
hasn't
it.
hit since Halo 3, if I'm going to be honest.
And correct me if I'm wrong, that was the last one that Bungie did.
No, Reach.
Was Reach the last one that
Was
Bungie
Reach
did?
the last one?
Yeah.
Reach is the last one Bungie did, and Reach was like controversial, but it wasn't bad.
That's right. Yeah. Those 3 was sort of the last mainline one, I suppose, whatever you want to call Reach. But yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Look, I'm just gonna say that 343 just don't. They haven't handled Halo well, and I feel like
No.
they're definitely trying to do different things with the series, which I do appreciate. But it's it's hard when you're a fan of a series, and they're definitely they're just not doing the simple things. Because Halo is that game that you can, if you have a friend over, let's play Halo. You can just play it co-op.
No. Halo was that game.
Yeah, Halo was that game. Thank you. Thank you for that good
I
correction.
think the other wild part of this too is that this was a game that got delayed a year in the first place.
Yeah, that's a bit
So
sad.
this stuff not arriving a year later, them cancelling it a year later, so 2 years after it was originally meant to be released, tells you a lot about the stuff that must have been going on behind scenes, and probably devs and their bosses trying to go, no, this isn't ready. Well, no, we actually want to release it now for investors, and stuff like that. That's
I feel like-
probably you can only assume is happening, but
Yeah, I feel like they show their games too early. Like, they show their hand a bit too early.
100%.
And, I'm just saying, people are going to be hyped either way. Like, Fallout 4 between Fallout 3, how many years was that?
I think a
Well,
couple.
Between 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Well, that was a while, because don't forget, New Vegas also released.
Yeah, New Vegas
in between
came out intermittently, but a mainline Fallout game. Did hype die down for the prospect of a new Fallout game?
No, not really. But I'll
really.
explain
No, if
why.
anything, I would argue it
It's
grew.
because
Yeah.
Bethesda was smart enough to realize something. They realized, hey, this is Fallout. And I say this with all due respect because I really liked Fallout 4. I enjoyed the hell out of it. but it's not Grand Theft Auto in the sense that they can't announce it 7 years ahead of time and still have that same hype behind it. So they sat there. I remember in 2015, they sat there at E3 and they were like, "Oh yeah, here's Fallout 4. It arrives in a few months," and everyone was like, "Holy shit, that was awesome!"
Yeah, everyone went nuts. That was like the most hyped thing I've ever seen. Was the gap between Fallout 4's announcement and release.
Like the fact of the matter is, right? None of us have worked in every single gaming studio ever. But
That's true.
One thing I'm fairly certain about is that no one who works in these studios can predict the future 100% of the time. So if you announce a game and then you say, "Oh yeah, coming soon," and then you knock back release date after release date after release date, time moves forward. Like, fans don't care if your game is going to release in 5 years. Oh, I'll care about it 4.5 years from now.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I don't like learning about something that I want and then learning I'm going to have to wait like half a decade for it.
Like,
I'm going to be a completely different person by then.
Also, Fallout 3, Fallout 4, 7 years.
7 years. Thank you, Jack.
Like, you have to understand, right? These days, you have more competition than ever. You've got not only other AAA devs, you've got smaller devs now, which are starting to make a bit of a comeback, but you've also got like little indie devs that are marketing their games online, and they're now like, so many games come out every day on so many different storefronts, you can't afford to fuck up release. And that includes the hype behind it. Like, honestly, let's be honest for a second, right? I want to talk to Amp specifically because you're a Kingdom Hearts fan.
Oh, don't go there.
We're going there.
No. Be honest.
I'm just gonna grab my
If Square Enix, right, sat there and they unveiled Kingdom Hearts 3 and said, "All right, we're going to release it 6 months from now," how much more hype would there have been from the broader community rather than just those Kingdom Hearts fanatics?
That's the thing. Kingdom Hearts 3 sold fantastically despite its delays.
But like, he does bring up a good point. The people that they're trying to capture all the time, which I don't understand, is they're trying to get like the fringe audience, like the people who have like, "Oh yeah, I've heard of this Kingdom Hearts."
Yeah.
And if you announce it like 6 months before the game releases, you're more likely to capture the curiosity of people.
Yeah, because people are still paying attention.
People are still like, "Oh my god, look at this
Rather
thing."
than, "Oh hey, that thing looks cool. Oh, it's not releasing until then. Oh, I'll go back to it when Rattle Day."
I mean, not just that, but don't forget, right? How long was Kingdom Hearts 3 in development now? Wasn't it like 7-8 years?
Yeah, it was a while.
Six years.
Think about it this way. How much have your tastes in games changed over 6 years?
I feel like Ant's probably
Not
the right person to ask that.
But
Yeah,
if you took the average person, you're telling me that if you took most of the gaming friends you know, no one's tastes have changed in the last 6 years, 7 years?
I think a majority of people I know's tastes have changed.
Sharps,
Exactly.
I know what you're trying to say here. Like, my tastes haven't changed, but my interest in different franchises have.
Your palate has broadened.
It broadened, yeah. That's what I'm trying to say.
Again, they have more competition now. Your palette has broadened.
Like, I before, like, the in between Kingdom Hearts 2 and all the spin-offs in Kingdom Hearts 3, I got into like Tales, fucking Persona, fucking
Yeah, exactly right.
Xenoblade, all those other games, right? Like, in between that span of time. So, yeah, I get what you're trying to say.
Actually, it's more important, F, because you're basically saying, as a core audience, you found more things that you can compare it to.
Yeah, essentially.
So it's not just fighting against itself. Because if Kingdom Hearts 3 was announced 6 years ago, and then it came out 6 years ago, it wouldn't have to fight against like all these RPGs and that came out and they're breaking the mold at the time. And then they're building your expectations of what this new thing is going to be.
It's also, like, we all know about, like, Kingdom Hearts' like, sort of writing, right?
Yeah.
Like, in between that time, I also realized something, like, with the taste that I've accumulated, or, like, the palette that I've, like, expanded from, is that my taste in like, storytelling has also changed.
Yeah, which is very important for a story-heavy game.
Yeah.
So my expectations in a story was vastly different to when I got to Kingdom Hearts 3. And when I played Kingdom Hearts 3, I was like, this
This is okay.
this didn't end exactly as I hoped.
Yeah, I mean, you see, when you like the Kingdom Hearts series now has been going on for literal decades, and like you got to remember, like if you got into Kingdom Hearts as a kid, like, well, I mean, like you did, Amph, and like a lot of Kingdom Hearts fans did,
Yeah.
then not only has the game's writing needed to evolve, but it's had to grow up alongside you. You
Yeah,
don't
that's
think
important.
you don't think the same way you do now as an adult than you did as a kid.
Yeah.
I think the only series that's gotten simpler over time, and I shouldn't use the word simpler, but the only one that's kind of that off the top of my head's been an exception to that rule is Ratchet and Clank, where it had really, really adult themes in the first few games, and then it kind of, in the later games, it changed quite a bit, and it became a lot more of a personal
I'd
story.
argue the gameplay overall is mostly...
No, the gameplay-wise, I'm talking about the story and the themes.
I
Like-
think when it got to Future Trilogy, that's when the story started to aim for a bit more substance.
I don't know, I wouldn't say substance, I would say, like, it just became more personal, because it became more about Ratchet's backstory and the backstory of his species. Whereas you play the first few games, and it's like satirical topics, like satirical takes on like consumerism and like media and things like that.
Yeah, it was a lot of satire. And
It was also
I just
very
want to,
villain of the
before I
week.
forget, I want to kind of sing Nintendo Direct praises here. Of like, a Nintendo Directs are so fucking hype, but they're hype for a very good reason.
Oh yes,
Everything you see there, you're gonna play within a year.
Yeah.
unless it's Breath of the Wild 2.
Like 90%. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there are, of course, I'm not gonna paint like everything with the same brush, but when I watch a Nintendo Direct, how many of those games do you expect to be able to play? Like, within that year?
I just look for what's within my like tastes and then go from
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
not only that,
Josh,
how many games during a Nintendo Direct do you expect to be able to play directly after the Direct is finished?
I was
very
literally
much.
I was literally about to say that because I swear to God, it feels like every Nintendo Direct they show like one or two games, and they're like, by the way, this is downloadable
Available
now.
Yeah, if you go to the eStore right now, it's there. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah, and hell, even some of the games where they don't release like alongside the Nintendo Direct, I swear to God, there's a heap of times I can think of where they've been like, oh, the game's coming out in 6 months, but you can download a demo now.
Yeah, or it's like a big IP like Zelda or Pokemon, where it's like, oh, don't worry, we'll give you like updated news every Direct, and they might even get like their own dedicated segment.
I remember that time when they announced like Xenoblade 3, right? But the next direct after that, they decided to push it forward. So it was meant to come out this month, right? But it came out like took like
That's
a
like the
couple
first
months
time I can ever think of a JRPG being like, oh yeah, you can have it early. What?
ago. And then after that, they were like, oh yeah, a special edition is coming out tomorrow after this direct. So that day when they released the whole like pre-orders and shit, the site tanked.
Yeah. I have to admit though, that's the one thing I wish the other like Microsoft and Sony would pick up is like why a Nintendo Direct is just everyone goes insane. Like,
So-
because a state of play, I don't give a shit half the time. Because I know it's like, oh boy, a bunch of games I'm going to be able to play 4 years from now.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Or it's like, or it's a bunch of games I have no interest
Can I say something, right? And you guys will absolutely love the start of this sentence. When I become Prime Minister of Australia
Yeah, of course.
and future president of the world, I'm gonna make it illegal for game developers to announce a game without a release date that says come, and like if it says like coming soon or now in development, your game is automatically, you have to pay me 50% of the profits.
That's a bit harsh. CD Projekt Red will have one more game.
Fucking,
No, because
you
it
just put
shits me.
Tetsuya Nomura on fucking life support, my dude.
Like honestly, Josh is 100% right with the things he talks about with Nintendo Direct, and it's one of the reasons why a lot of the stuff is memorable because it doesn't have to be memorable for long because I can play it very very soon.
Like, dude, remember ActRaiser? When they were just like, oh yeah, here's ActRaiser. You know this obscure fucking title from the SNES? Here is it completely remastered right now.
Yeah, that surprised me.
Like,
And we were like, wait, what?
like, here's the thing. The only time I've ever looked at a state of play and I've been like, oh my god, I think these games will release soon, was the PS5 one. Because I expected to see some launch titles there. But then even so, they just like showed some stuff and they were like, oh yeah, this is coming to the PS5 at some point in its lifespan.
Oh, that's good. Oh, thank you. Before you die, you'll experience this.
Like,
That's if you can get a PS5. Oh wait, we didn't know about
still
that.
have-
honestly, I fucking loathe when developers like announce something and then they just say coming soon.
I also loathe, and this has happened a few times, when like Microsoft or Sony has an event and it's just stuff we already know about.
Yeah,
That's so
but like that
irritating.
doesn't get me hyped. I don't understand why they do
Like
that.
when they have like a press conference or they have like a state of play, but it's all games that were announced already by the developers and everyone knew about. It's like we knew about every one of these. You've wasted my time.
You're like, oh, okay, so this is the part of the presentation where I go, and have a pee break or grab
skip.
Is that cool?
Well, it's
Video's over.
Can
It's
I
also-
just say... Oh, sorry, you go F.
It's also one of those things where people will watch it to expect like a release date for like a certain project. So one of them was obviously like God of War Ragnarok, which is coming out this November.
Good plug.
And another one is obviously Final Fantasy 16.
Which is coming to the PlayStation 5 sometime during its lifespan.
Yeah, like next year sometime.
Can I
But
just...
also, but
There's some big expectations.
But to finish off, on my on my take, we are all here lucky to have a PS5 right now because they increased the price.
Yeah,
They did just
so
increase the price.
in Australia, the disc version will be getting a $50 price increase from $750 to $800. And I saw a comment, right? And someone said, Sony just saved me money. I was going to spend $749 on their console. Now I'm just not buying it.
Yeah.
It's almost the price you spent
I think
for
it's
it,
a
Josh.
really-
Can I just say,
Shut
right?
up.
It's a
Shut
real
up, my
crap
dude.
thing to do when you've literally had...
I made a mistake. I can admit it.
You've had issues getting the console out to people the entire lifespan of the console, and you raise the price on it. That's crap.
I like
Can
the
I just
idea
say-
of raising
That's a-
price on
Can
something
I
you
just
can't
say
buy.
that when it comes to business, you should never give your opponents ammunition to dunk on you. And both Microsoft and Nintendo were like, hey, see them putting their prices up? We're not going to do that. And then everyone was like, yeah! Like,
But yeah, they didn't have to do anything, and they
it was
Which is
it
all
was
the Nintendo
literally
fanboys
it was
do.
literally payback for Sony bragging about being able to play used games on the PS4 on stage at E3.
Dude, Sony's been doing that entire lifespan. You guys know that, like, when the PlayStation 1 was... I think it was the PlayStation 2 was announced.
No, it was the one, I know what you're about to say, where they got up and the guy literally walked up on stage and he goes $2.99 and then he walked off stage.
Yeah, that. It was a PS1, and, like,
Yeah.
Sega tried to sue them over it.
Yeah, because
They didn't try to sue them, they threatened to sue them, sorry.
yeah, no, Sega had already announced that their price point was going to be $3.99, I think it was, and then
Yeah.
everyone kind of looked at the PlayStation and they like talked about how the PlayStation was so revolutionary and how great it was going to be, and then everyone immediately goes, fuck, here we go, just like every piece of tech that's better, it's going to be more expensive. And he just walks up on stage like a chat and he just goes $2.99 and walks off.
Yeah, I don't know. Part of me just feels sad because I can feel more and more AAA is gonna fuck itself over.
But can I just say, how you announce things is really important. Like, when that PS5 State of Play happened, right? You know what the most memorable moment of that was, according to the internet? Was
Go on.
people reacting that GTA 5 was the first game and the level of disappointment it caused.
It is a bit disappointing.
That
Well,
moment they showed the fucking Rockstar logo and everyone's going GTA 6.
Everyone,
GTA 5 too.
it was crazy because Rockstar and PlayStation have a history with each other. So when people saw the Rockstar logo and it was such a big event and it was like, oh oh my god, holy crap, this is going to be huge. And then it was GTA 5, and it was the PS3 trailer for GTA 5 that was re-edited. And everyone was like, get fucked. I literally read comments. I was reading through comments because I found the video and it was just a compilation of reactions to it. And then people were like, yeah, I literally stopped watching the State of Play at that point because they were so annoyed that that was what they either woke up early for or stayed up late for. To just see Grand Theft Auto 5 make a fucking appearance.
Now, I'm gonna get us back I'm gonna loop us back.
No,
around.
never.
No, it's my job. So this Halo Infinite news all came on the back of them also giving them an update on the rest of like their winter update. So they're getting Forge mode finally.
Yep.
Which might, if anything's gonna save Halo Infinite,
not.
it'll be the Forge mode.
It will not save Halo Infinite.
I don't think it will. But this is also when they're releasing the full online campaign co-op, which I still can't believe is not there as well.
How is it? Okay, this is pissing me off. Like, the more I'm learning about this, the more it's making me upset. These are not
then my
things you add
favourite-
later.
My favourite part that I have talked to Shabs and Josh about, they're having Match XP beta for the game, I suppose their Game Pass.
Yeah, I like that.
What do you need a Match XP beta for?
Well-
You get XP from playing game at end of match.
This is Halo...
What do you need a beta for?
What, 7?
What'd you say?
Have they not
I
figured
actually
this out?
looked up. This game has been in development since Fallout 4 came out.
Yeah,
I know the studios aren't related, but
yeah, but like
November
still,
2015.
still. Also, this game has had online co-op since Halo, the first one.
Yeah.
You think they'd have a little bit of experience to draw from? I know it's a different company, but they've made a few of them now.
Can I just say, right?
yeah, it's bizarre.
I find it so odd that Bungie, like, from a critical standpoint, knocked it out of the park every time a Halo came out. And then 343 took over and everyone was like, okay, we're still getting more Halo. This is cool. And every single Halo 343 have made, there's been something that's gone wrong with it. Something that's caused controversy. Like, how are you beta testing features this far into your game? Like,
I don't understand, man.
I think it just shows what sort of a mess they're in.
Why didn't they just delay it by 2 years? Why didn't they just not announce it until last year?
Because investors probably wanted it out. This is the thing. We mentioned this pre-podcast about this is what happened with Cyberpunk.
well, I mean, Halo is the, like, killer app for Xbox. Like,
It is.
let's be
100%,
real.
yeah.
GTA 6 could be an Xbox exclusive and people would still say, I bought it for Halo. That's the level of, like,
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
love that some people have for that series.
Also,
No,
it's their
literally, I
only
would go
IP.
so far to argue. Sorry, say
It's
it again.
their only IP, because I legitimately was sitting here trying to think of an
Yeah, well.
Xbox IP, and that was the only one that came to mind.
Forza.
Only living IP.
Well, I'm trying to think, what, Blink's the Time Sweeper? That's the other one?
Forza, Project Gotham Racing was an Xbox exclusive.
You've named 2 games that have no following.
Killer Instinct.
Oh, right,
Gears
next
of
to
War.
War,
No, I
yeah.
agree. It's
Knights
like,
of the Old Republic.
It is the flagship of. Xbox.
Amph, did you just say Knights of the Old Republic?
Yeah, he did.
That is not an Xbox exclusive, my man.
Oh yes, my
yeah,
favorite
it's on PC.
my favorite exclusive is now playable on the Nintendo Switch. Thank you.
Back then it was on the Xbox. I remember that.
If you guys want to talk about companies and who has a stake in what, have I got a story?
Oh
for you?
yeah,
mistake.
I know where this is going.
Sony and Tencent just bought a higher stake in FromSoft.
Good move.
This
They make some
feels
quality shit.
strange. I don't know, but so Sony and Tencent together now own 30% of From Software, with Kadokawa specifically owning the rest of. It's really like weird. It's like 69.66%.
Yeah,
Don't know-
shares are weird, but also, I don't know.
I
this might
don't know
be
why
normal.
the percentage.
Yeah, I know exactly why he wanted 69%.
It's
Nice.
He was like, nice, and there were high fives throughout the office.
Like if I ever sell my gaming company, if I ever like have one worth selling, I'm gonna leave myself with 69.69%.
I'm just gonna say that
I'm gonna-
I don't know if
I'm
this
gonna
means
leave-
anything.
I'm gonna leave $69 in the office. Company, you know.
No,
To
but
see
can I
if he
can I just
cleans
say
up
right?
him doing
This
the
is.
job.
Can you imagine if this is like Sony's way of like trying to piss off Xbox? Like, oh yeah, you can buy every company. We're just gonna buy stakes in those companies, and you can pay us out a very big amount, and we'll keep the games multi-platform.
Yeah, that could be it. Also, it could be just normal business practice. I'm not sure. I don't know enough about like stock trading to comment on this.
It's also worth noting Tencent is on a spending spree because they're set to become
I'm surprised Tencent just didn't buy them, but apparently, so this is a weird deal. Obviously, they like each other, so it was under a third-party allotment, which means they specifically chose to deal with Sony and Tencent, and no one else.
Well, they're definitely going above their budget if they're only 10 cent.
Huh.
We can't even like edit that out anymore because Amp's taking over the video recording.
Yeah, he won't even let us do it.
No, like
Oh my god, the evil laugh.
I was gonna say like this
We're
is
doomed.
speaking of business practices, right? If you're Sony, and let's be real, you can't outspend Microsoft. You really have to be careful on what studios you're investing into. Like, From Software is a solid investment because, I mean, their last few games have been on a roll.
I mean, name a FromSoft game that wasn't a banger that didn't sell. Even Dark Souls 2, as much as people hate it,
It sold well, but it was also Dark Souls 2. It's the one all the Dark Souls fans hate.
Yes, but I would still argue
never-
that a
we
lot
never
of them
s-
even would say it was a good game.
Never speak of Dark Souls 2.
It just wasn't their favourite one.
Never speak of Dark Souls 2.
But
Did you guys
can I just
see the bunch of Western devs started attacking Elden Ring?
hold up before we get to that because
I really want to get to that.
I want to hear about that as well because I have not heard about
I
this.
love that.
Oh wait, I think I have.
Uh,
But yeah, before that, Tencent. I actually saw today. Tencent are buying a huge stake in Ubisoft. And did you guys see the figure that's being thrown around?
what are they not buying?
Wait. But
Honestly.
did you guys see the figure that's been going around?
It was a lot.
It was $297 billion.
Oh, that's a lot of money.
Like, I just...
That doesn't sound right.
That doesn't sound right. So that's the figure I've been seeing.
Sure it's not million?
I mean, actually, yeah, it might be million unless I'm an idiot and misread it.
I feel like that's got to be... I just googled it. I think it's a million.
Are you...
It's like 300 mil and 440 mil.
Oh, yeah, sorry, mil. I was going to say 200 billion. That's a lot more than Microsoft paid for Activision. But yeah, still, $300 million worth of Ubisoft stock is a very big risk. Like, it's...
Well, look, maybe they've seen the game that we're going to talk about.
I was going to say, maybe it's just a mirage. Thanks, Jack. Thank you for laughing. Now, Josh, Western devs attacking Elden Ring.
So, our favourite company man from Ubisoft have been criticising Elden Ring recently. Specifically devs from Horizon Forbidden West.
This isn't recent.
No, this is fairly recent.
Really? Because I remember this from ages ago where they talked about how the UI was terrible in Elden
Oh,
Ring.
this is about the UI is terrible. Why did all of these things just come up for me? I got a resurgence of my thing, so I saved it so I could bring it up during the podcast.
No. This
was
was
the beginning of the year, my dude.
Really?
This was ages ago. Yeah. So
Maybe it just
It's good to
recirculated.
know Josh doesn't listen.
I was
to
gonna
us.
say, I swear we spoke about this on that podcast that we recorded at that time.
Maybe I wasn't on that podcast. I'm rarely on these things.
But yeah, as a refresher, Ubisoft and Guerrilla Games devs complained about the UI in Elden Ring. And if you work for Ubisoft, you don't get to talk about UI.
Yes, I see why it came back up. They've just redone this same article from March, but they've put it for the newest date. So that's why it came up. So because I was like, oh, this is juicy.
Maybe there was maybe there was more stuff.
It doesn't seem like it because you basically covered everything. Yeah.
Like Elden Ring is a masterclass in like you've played it, Josh.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a masterclass in like open world design. It doesn't exactly throw you like 50,000 objectives.
It doesn't have a big glowing arrow telling me where to go, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it doesn't mark the feathers on your map that you have to collect, all 700 of them.
All 100 of them that give you a cape.
In fact, it was very... I don't know how to explain it, but it was like the sense of exploration you can get out of Elden Ring. It's not exactly something I could ever see truly replicated.
But it just bothers me because I hate the way Ubisoft open world games were designed. Because it's like, oh, I see you've just finished the tutorial / prologue. Let me dump everything on your map. Go searching. And then
So
I
that
immediately got
hour,
overwhelmed.
that little area you've been exploring, yeah, that's the prologue area. That took you 3 hours. Here's the rest of the map.
Man, they're gonna get really... Have you guys ever played a game called Outward?
no.
Nah.
You guys will probably like Outward. It's it's an independently developed... but I struggle to call it an RPG because you don't level up in it, but it's like an adventure game. It's got co-op too, so, you know, fuck you, 343.
Is it split screen?
Yes.
Though? Local
Yes.
split screen. Okay.
Again, fuck you, 343. But in that game, there is no fucking markers on the map at all.
You
Like,
just
it
find
just-
shit.
No, every quest giver is like, here is where I want you to go. Here's the direction from a landmark. Go find it.
I'll be honest, that would also terrify
It's
me.
a
It
very
sounds
fun
scary.
game.
But, like, how fun is it just finding random shit in games? Like, Fallout 4, when you find, like... I remember I found Pikmin's gallery before I was, like, supposed to. And I was just like, yo, what is this fucking place? But it was legitimately enthralling because no one told me about this place. I found a little town and I was running through it.
Yeah.
I like the fact that Breath of the Wild let you turn off and on the quest markers depending on how you wanted to play.
I feel like From Software with Elden Ring, they reminded everyone, hey, exploration is a really cool part of the gaming. Like, you don't need all the map markers. Like, if something looks interesting and you make it interesting with how you build the world, people will go over to it.
I don't think
Like, you don't need 50 map markers.
once in Elden Ring did we get, like, lost. On the main story, at the very least. The quest lines we needed help with because you can't do those without cheating or investing a huge amount of time into it.
Looking it up.
Yeah, but basically, well, you guys know what the quests in Elden Ring are like. It's either huge amounts of trial and error or you looked up a guide.
Yeah, but
we never looked up anything.
Don't
for,
kill
like,
this
the main
person, but
quest.
give this thing to this person, then go back to this other person, which will then lead you to this.
Yeah, well, one of the quest lines is straight up, oh, I'll meet you here. And then we went there, and we couldn't find him. And it turns out he was in a completely fucking different area, and the game didn't tell us. So I was like, oh, okay. So we went over to that area after looking
Probably
it up.
missed something, or yeah. But do you think, though, that... I want to get back to this. Why else do you think Sony and Tencent might have put a stake in From Software? Like,
Elden Ring do good.
yeah,
Make
they want
good game. Make a lot of money.
They want a piece of that From Software.
It's
ass.
because Sekiro Shadows can die one more time.
Shadows die more than
got-
once.
You gotta remember how many times From Software have won Game of the Years. Like,
Yes, all 2 times.
Oh yeah, and let's be real, they're probably going to unless Ragnarok somehow dethrones them, and Ragnarok will probably be amazing.
the reason why I said how many, I know they've won at least one so far, but I'm banking on Elden Ring this year. Nothing is gonna beat
Yeah,
that fucking game.
Yeah, sorry, I did
Ragnarok
say
would have to be
I did
perfect.
just say like 30 seconds ago, but yes, they've won one. I forgot Elden Ring hasn't been crowned yet.
I don't know, I think the thing is, From Software hasn't released a game that was shit.
Except
think-
Dark Souls 2.
Listen, no, even Dark Souls
But
2.
again, people would still argue that was a good game. It was just not their style.
Yeah, but Dark Souls 2
exactly.
fans are subhuman.
They are subhuman. They can get their humanity back, though.
Yeah. Do you like losing your HP when you die? Do you like shoddy fucking hitboxes? You like Dark Souls 2.
You know what? There's that, like, if you want to play...
Shards, you know what? Come on. This is... If this isn't Bloodborne 2 happens, or remake of 1 happens, then
You know what's funny?
That's what-
Honestly, like, I'm just being 100% honest here. They don't even need to remake Bloodborne 2. If they literally just said, hey, Bloodborne 2 on PS5 has a 60 FPS patch, I guarantee you people will flock back to it.
100%. People still play it. I saw people getting super excited about it earlier this year. Just apparently a lot of people were playing.
Wait, remake Blood.
Don't know what.
Wait, remake Bloodborne 2?
Yeah, I know what he meant.
Bloodborne 2.
Actually, no.
No, it's in
You know what I
remake
love?
one.
So you remember how someone made a PS1 remake of Bloodborne?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you hear what the next game they're making is?
No.
Bloodborne cart.
Yeah, it's Super Bloodborne Kart.
That's adorable. I love that.
I am dying to see that when that gets done.
They implemented bounce pads. I seen their like recent footage and I'm like, oh, that's actually.
I'm gonna be doing burnouts around Yarnum. That's
Father Gascoigne.
Oh god.
but,
His name really lives up to the fucking setting.
but like if you want a game where the hitboxes are fantastic and like the combat is absolutely great, there are options. Like there's a game I'm thinking of and it was a platform fighter. It was the first one that actually had Solid Snake. It's called
sake.
Dream Mix TV World Fighters.
Would it really be a safe podcast if you didn't bring up that game?
I bring it up because
No.
I want to see you play it, Josh.
I never will.
Josh,
I don't play games.
You can
I just own them.
you can play Solid Snake versus a Transformer. Is that not the fight you wanted to see?
That's just every Metal Gear.
One
Listen
day,
here,
Charles,
you
you're
little
gonna break-
shit.
Charles, one day you're gonna break Josh's fucking mind and he's just gonna remember the one last thing. And that it's just fucking that
It's just
game with
me
Solid
in the
Snake.
asylum saying, someone walks in the room and I'm just like, have you heard? And they're like, what? There's this new game out.
every
Like-
single mouth you see, it's us saying, "Have you heard about this game with Solid
I
Snake?"
guarantee you, like,
Josh will be on his
no, I'm just,
Josh will be on his deathbed and Sharps will tell
I'm
him
just-
about it. This is the last
Like,
thing he
my
says
friend,
to him.
after all these years, I know that these are your final moments, and I want to give you the reassurance that it has always been Solid Snake's first appearance in a fighting game.
I'm just imagining one day, like, Josh and Alexi are at the zoo, and Alexi's like, "Oh, look at that snake," and Josh's eyes just starts twitching. He's like, "Snake."
Is it a solid pattern?
All snakes are solid unless you've done something horrible, Jack.
Oh, you should see what happens when Optimus Prime gets done with Solid Snake in Dream Mix TV World Fighters.
You never told me you could play Bomberman in that game. Like, that would honestly be more enticing.
And Yugo from Bloody Raw.
Yeah, this is a weird game.
Wasn't Simon Belmont in
And
that
on that
game?
note, I'm going to move us on.
I like how Multiverse has just made the Shaggy meme. They just fully leaned into it.
Oh, God. Alright, so, yeah, moving on. I can't believe us sometimes. So, Assassin's Creed finally got the new name. for
Yes,
their next-
Assassin's Creed Marriage.
Yep.
That's the name.
I think Josh is, Josh, you feeling okay? I think you
Just
Also,
before Assassin's
apparently
Creed
they're
dating.
abandoning their abandonment of the stealth mechanics.
So after rumors that are almost older than time itself, Assassin's Creed Mirage got announced.
Yes.
Because
At first, God
there have
said,
been leaks.
"What's that new Assassin's
There have
Creed
been
game?"
leaks of this game for longer than Valhalla's. Almost it feels like since Valhalla's been out, because. Well, basically, the rumors are that this originally started out as DLC for AC Valhalla, and then they're like, actually, let's just make a game.
That's
Sounds like a really
that's
unhealthy
the
dev
perfect
cycle.
way of doing things.
Yes, so that is what this game has going for it. So it's focusing on Basim, those who have played AC Valhalla will know,
Basim.
and it's rumored to be set in Baghdad, which is supposedly where he grew up and became an assassin and whatever. So,
Wait, chronologically, that means this takes place before AC1? Or is it, like, after?
No, before AC Valhalla.
Are they just straight up mythical creatures now? Can I just ask that question?
Well,
I haven't
look.
played a Assassin's Creed game in a very long time.
Look.
No,
in
Jack, answer me the
Origins, Odyssey,
questions.
And Valhalla, there were some mythological creatures.
Because I remember in Odyssey, there was a guy named the Cyclops, but he was just like a guy that had like one eye. but like a
No,
normal guy.
no. There are some genuine actual.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Because that was something about the Assassin's
But
Creed games I always
In
kind of
Valhalla,
appreciate.
they had reasons for it.
Okay, you know what?
Valhalla, they-
Before you give me the justifications for mythological creatures existing.
No. You
on.
basically were in a dream state.
Okay.
That's literally what it was.
that's what it was.
That
Okay,
was-
'cause I was
what
gonna
was
say-
what was in Origins? Because I remember you fought a massive mythical creature with a bow, but I can't remember what it was.
Origins was a glitch.
Oh, that's right. It was a glitch, you know.
Yeah,
There was a bug in the
glitch.
game.
Oh,
It just added a
but-
Hydra.
Yeah, but what about that chocobo? Is that a glitch too?
Oh yeah, that's right. There was a chocobo
sure.
in Assassin's Creed Origins.
If you can pay for it, it's not a glitch. Ubisoft.
I think Josh is just like, what? There's a chocobo.
No, I know about the chocobo. I played
Yeah,
15.
I'll be honest. I used to use the Buster Sword in Assassin's Creed in Origins when I played it because it was like super powerful for when you got it.
So dumb.
Wait,
But
Buster Sword in Origins? Oh,
Yeah, because I don't know if you remember, but Final Fantasy 15 did that Assassin's Festival in the game.
I thought it was just a chocobo.
Yeah,
I thought it was just a chocobo.
No, there's an
No,
actual.
it's part of the same.
There's
quest.
there's a quest line. And it's a Final Fantasy quest line. And at the end of it, you get a Buster Sword.
Oh shit.
you know, Final Fantasy in ancient Egypt.
Yeah.
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 I want to tell you.
Wait,
no,
are you
no,
telling
I
me that
appreciate
Final
it.
Fantasy is not set in ancient Egypt?
It's exclusively. It's like Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
It's
It's a children's card
What a
game.
transition.
That's how old life or death situations are solved. I want to say I always appreciated Assassin's Creed. Like the only mythological things about it were like the quest MacGuffins. That was it. It was like, oh yeah, the one thing that's magic in this world, that's like the biggest deal ever. And then I was like, wait, in Valhalla, is there just like fucking mythological creatures?
No. There's not in the main part of the game. Odyssey is the one that sort of blurred reality a little bit more. And then Valhalla, they sort of dialed it back and like, look, you're in the spirit realm or whatever.
Okay, I do say
Yeah,
that, but there is a
reason they wanna
machine
make
that can send you back in time, sort of, and aliens. So maybe Assassin's Creed has always been wacky.
Look, it's always been a bit wacky, but they certainly went.
Josh,
No, I'm
listen.
getting pissed off because I'm just remembering.
Hang on, Josh.
all
We
of
have a
Assassin's Creed
duty.
3.
We have a duty to report the truth, and you're not reporting the truth, right? There's no aliens in Assassin's Creed. They were just the first civilization that came before humans.
Yes, and they were on. Weren't they on another planet?
No.
No.
No, that would require them to have thought through the modern day stuff.
Oh man, I can't wait for the Assassin's Creed set on Mars.
Dude, I can't fucking. I just remember like,
We'll get Mars before we get Japan.
why isn't there an Assassin's Creed in Japan? Like, I
So
reckon that
years
would sell
ago,
pretty well.
years ago,
No, that's actually a rumor now, which is
years
hilarious.
ago, like Ubisoft have been getting like requests to do it for years. But there was one time I remember where they acknowledged it and they go, "Oh yeah, it would just be super hard to do a Japanese Assassin's Creed with the plans we have now." And then they went into colonial America, and everyone was like, "Wow, this is shit."
Yeah.
And this small little game called Ghost of Tsushima came out that basically was.
I was about
Assassin's
to say
Creed
too,
Japan.
they could just be like, just on the Ubisoft website or whatever, just make the timeline for Assassin's Creed, just throw Ghost of Tsushima in there and just don't say anything.
Ah yes, the assassin Jin Sakai.
Well, he wasn't he? Wasn't that the entire point of the game?
So yeah.
My son, please stop assassinating people, but father, I must save Japan.
The good news with Mirage is that apparently it is going back to basics and that is focusing on stealth and not RPG style leveling.
Thank the
Has
Christ for
taken
that.
over since AC Origins, which will get some people upset and will get some people like Ant for
I was going to say, finally, an Assassin's Creed game I want to play.
I
I think
don't-
we had this conversation that when I got really disappointed.
We've had this conversation many times that, and I will keep saying this, that I feel, I don't know this is what I feel, that basically they were like, look, we want to make an RPG game because we can monetize it and we can make it really fun and big and get those playtime hours up because that's...
Yeah, I hate the fact that that's a bargaining chip.
And they decided, okay, Assassin's Creed will be our RPG where we make people play it for lots and lots of hours. And I maintain that decision is what caused them to go away from the core roots. And while I have enjoyed the Assassin's Creed games. They are not Assassin's Creed games. They are RPGs.
They are The
tacked
Witcher,
on
but
with
not
Assassin's Creed. Well, no, it's they just use the Assassin's Creed name to sell the game. That's
Yeah, I
what
don't know.
been
It's
for
just
the last
annoying.
3 games.
I remember. I think I told this
No, I
story
agree.
before. It's like I played. I got Odyssey because I was like really hankering for an Assassin's Creed game, and I had no fucking clue that they were RPGs. So I went and hit someone with the hidden blade, and they turned around and killed me. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit?
I'll give that Odyssey is like, you know, it tries to be accurate to its like setting, right?
Ah, yes, the
But
Spear of Leonidas was a mythical thing, eh?
It was a mythical thing, but I'm gonna knock on frickin' Valhalla for me the most inaccurate game possible. You're like Viking, right?
Mm.
And I remember seeing the gameplay of this. I think I might have mentioned this ages ago, or probably earlier on in one of the podcasts. I can't remember.
You can't do unspeakable things to Catholics in this game. What the fuck?
But you're a Viking, right? And I saw this person go ahead and kill people in the game, like civilians. And it came up, if you do that again, you'll get desynchronized. And I was like, wait, what?
Are you sure about that?
I'm like, this is the one game where you shouldn't be punished for doing that.
I feel like they need to drop that. I don't understand why they keep the main storyline if they're going to change the entire game's function anyway.
I mean,
Just-
in the
just
original
this is
games,
about the
in the
assassins.
so in the
Josh, we'll find all about this at the Ubisoft Forward event, where I'm sure they'll explain.
Well,
Oh yeah, they're so known for doing that.
well, you see, the thing is, right, in the earlier games in the series, you weren't allowed to kill civilians, but they explained it by saying that one of the assassins' main rules was stay your blade from the flesh of the innocent. Do not kill innocent people.
Yeah, but that made complete sense for Ezio and Altair because they were completely... One of them was like a trained assassin in a missionary that was completely like a religious doctrine against it. So yeah, it made complete sense. Altair probably wouldn't kill innocent people. He was a person with a creed. It's kind of in the name.
But in
Ezio,
Valhalla...
more of a I need vengeance on that one guy than I need vengeance on all of Italy. Makes sense. Viking though.
Yeah.
Viking, I'm pretty sure their job description is pillaging, and I'm not going to say the other thing. But
Unspeakable things to Catholics.
yeah. And very unspeakable things. Very, very, very... Ugh.
But
don't
there's
understand why they just
actually a scene in Valhalla, right? And Jack will correct me, where Eivor, the main character of Valhalla, is gifted a hidden blade, and like when the assassin who gifted it to him was Basim, and like he and his like follower are like arguing over whether he should be gifted a hidden blade because his follower Haytham is like, the hidden blade is a sacred thing. You don't just fucking give it out like it's a lolly. And then Eivor puts it on the top of his wrist. And then they explain to Eivor, like, no, it goes on the bottom so you can, like, conceal it. And then Eivor's like, no, I want people to see me kill them with this shit. I'm like, fucking hell.
Oh my god.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's literally how it goes. And then he goes,
So they basically like killed the law for it. Which, look, people are gonna get. You can argue about how angry you should get over the law like that if they want to adjust it for the time period, but it's like, do you need to shit on every aspect of?
Well,
your,
he's not
like,
really
history?
an assassin at that point because he's
No.
just murdering people.
Look,
And he gets punished for doing it!
agree. I'm not going to deny any of this. This is the thing that annoys people with the Assassin's Creed games, that they've gone away from that stealth. So it will be interesting to see if with the Mirage game they can bring that back and make people feel like, oh hey, I could be stealthy. I maintain if you want to play an assassin game, you just go play Hitman.
I was about to say,
Because
Jack,
those games are
Assassin's
fantastic.
Creed should have leaned more into being Hitman than being fucking an RPG.
No, I
Well,
agree with that,
they-
but if people are that upset about it, go play Hitman.
but that's the thing, that's what they tried to do with Unity. If you remember the whole idea of, like, in the main assassination missions in Unity, they're just like, hey, here's a few ways to get to your target, you can use them, whatever, your target's there, you fucking deal with it.
Yeah, but they didn't make the game good.
No, Unity was... Okay, when you say good, it was just buggy. I will always maintain Unity was, like, the last true good Assassin's Creed.
Shabel, don't
I think
test
that
me on
game
this.
would have gone on really well.
Has Bethesda brainwashed you?
No.
Bugs are bad.
No. When that game was working, it was good.
No, I agree with Sharps. It was actually a really good game, and for me, I only had one major bug in that game.
Correct me if I'm wrong,
And-
but wasn't one of the main characters named Jack?
That was in Syndicate.
That was Syndicate?
That
Okay,
was-
I'm
go
getting
on,
a little
that was the
confused.
British one.
Yeah,
Come
yeah.
on.
In Syndicate, is he not Jack the Ripper?
No.
No.
Is
no.
that a
There's-
misconception?
No, there's a quest line with Jack the
Oh,
Ripper.
okay.
So.
I literally thought they made like the main guy character into Jack the Ripper, and that would just be like the most
No, they
cliche
did weird
thing I
things
could
with that.
possibly think of. Alright, yeah. Go on about Assassin's Creed
I'm morally
Baghdadi.
I'm morally upstanding Jack the Ripper.
Oh, yes.
Just like morally
So,
upstanding.
Can you be morally upstanding and an assassin? Those questions are very important to like two of the
Well,
games.
I would argue that most people love Ezio, and Ezio, at the end of the day, just assassinated people. So
At the end of the day, he was a good guy as well.
Yeah,
A
but like
really
he
good
only
guy.
okay. Yeah, but Ezio had made sense with the whole fucking don't kill innocent people.
hang on. You just asked the question. I just gave you an answer.
Jack, I
Come
was
on.
literally saying, can you be morally upstanding while being an assassin? And that is literally the pertinent, most important question of the first two games. Assassin's Creed 1 and Assassin's Creed 2, that was like the main thing that the protagonist dealt with was, hey, can I actually be like a good person and be an assassin at the same time? And also vengeance.
Guys, so
Yes.
I just opened my phone, right, and it was like immediately on Facebook, and the first thing I see is Assassin's Creed saying tune into the Assassin's Creed showcase. But not only did they show what I suspect is Mirage, they've literally just shown a trailer with like all the previous Assassins.
Okay.
I'm looking at it, and it's like a 15th. I don't know if it's a 15th anniversary trailer, but they've kind of hinted that there's going to be something with all the previous Assassins.
Assassin's Creed Endgame.
Assassin's Creed Civil War.
Well, isn't
How would it be
isn't this what
multiverse if they're
they've-
just
Isn't this what
consecutive?
they've talked about with Assassin's Creed Infinity? Thing that they're literally doing that will literally be like a live service version where it's like, oh, you buy Assassin's Creed Mirage, then you go buy Assassin's Creed Japan, then you go buy, and it's all within the same like world or game. You essentially buy the game as DLC. That's what Infinity, in my eyes, has been pitched as.
You know,
Which I wonder if will get shown more on September 10th.
it could honestly be cool to have it kind of function like that, and it would make sense with the fucking modern storyline if they wanted to keep that. I kind of wish they would either lean into the modern storyline and just straight up have like a modern day Assassin's Creed game, or ditch
get
it
rid of it.
entirely and just be
Ditch
like,
it
yeah, this is
entirely.
just about the assassins. There's no
Ditch it
weird like Ultron thing where you got to like brain blast yourself into your ancestor.
No, they ditch it entirely.
They do need to work out what
Also,
they're doing
wasn't
with
one
it,
of them
'cause
just a
it's been-
pirate and he couldn't kill innocent people either?
Yeah.
That was Black Flag.
There's a reason
I
for
would
that.
argue that. I'd argue with that though. Most of that took place on ships, so you know, it's sort of.
I find it more. I don't know. I just find it funny the idea of like you're playing. Some of the games you're just playing a murderer, and it's like, well, this murderer wouldn't kill every innocent person.
In fairness, pirates didn't kill every single person.
No.
Lots of them were actually just chicken
Yes,
shit.
like Blackbeard.
He's one of the few that.
No,
wasn't,
he was
right?
actually chicken shit. He hated killing people. It's well documented. He did everything
Yeah.
in his power to make himself as scary as possible, specifically
Yeah, so he didn't have to,
people
yeah.
didn't fuck with him because he didn't like it.
Yeah.
It's so funny to find out that he did all of that scary stuff and he sowed all of these rumors about himself, specifically so people wouldn't mess with him because he didn't like having to kill people. What an absolute lad.
What a lad. So, Sharps, do you have any hopes on this? Are you at least eager to see it return to stealth Assassin's Creed?
Assassin's Creed Australia.
Look, I'm not.
Kelly.
You know what? You know what? All right, I would actually love the idea of a modern Assassin's Creed.
Yes.
Like, if they made an entire game set in the modern day, where it was literally just like the modern bits from AC3, but they actually made a game out of it, maybe set it in like one or two really cool cities, that would be fucking great.
Just don't do a World War One or World War Two one.
Yeah, don't do
please.
that.
No,
Don't.
I think when they
Please.
declined to do Japan, they also said they did not want to do World War 1 or 2 because they said,
Yes, but the rumors are they're doing a Japan one, so I'm not going to believe
Jack,
that.
oh, we have to go assassinate Hitler now.
oh yes.
At the end of the game, you're the one who shoots
You have-
Hitler,
yeah,
and
you
you
cut-
make it look like an accident.
you put the cyanide.
I'm already
Yeah.
imagining how they would do it. It would be, firstly, it would be a cutscene, right? And you would like you'd have a really big DNA with Hitler, and Hitler will be like, "Oh no, I must see my work done. The Templars
I'm
are counting
actually
on
killing
me."
the Jews because they had the apple of Eden, and now I'm dressed as the
Oh my
dog.
god!
And then like,
We have to stop the podcast now.
your assassin will be like, "I offer you one chance to make this right." Hands him a cyanide pill, and is like, "And this one too for your wife."
I love the idea of Adolf Hitler dressed as like a religious figure, like the Pope, and holding a magical object, appearing in like 4 different like versions of himself, slowly walking towards you, monologuing about the Übermensch.
Oh my god!
Fucking rest in peace, y'all.
I need living space, Altair. I need Poland now.
Podcast got off
I
the rails.
love
Oh,
this
God.
so much. I actually no, I've changed my mind. I hope the next Assassin's Creed is Assassin's Creed Vermont.
Oh my god.
Oh, fuck me, that would be so
So
good.
while we're on the,
So I maintain I don't want them to do that.
can I just say, right?
Jack and the Same Farm podcast does not endorse this.
There was I remember that like when it comes to World War II games, right? I bought Call of Duty World War II because I wanted a World War II game at the time, right? And oddly enough, the campaign was the best part of that game. And I swear to God, the most memorable part is the ending, right? Because near the end of the game, one of your crewmates gets captured, and in the epilogue, you go back to get him. And you go there, and you end up in a concentration camp. I think it's Auschwitz. And this is like near the end of the war, or after the war is over. And like it shows you photographs of like the real concentration camps. And I'm like, my brother in Christ, why is this in Call of Duty of all places?
Yeah, I don't feel like this is. Listen, it's all good to teach us about this, but this isn't the time or the place.
And I remember there's like one mission where it's like the token woke mission, where at first like the white like sergeant doesn't want to work with an African American soldier, but then the African American soldier proves his worth, and is like, "You're alright by me, man. You didn't die on this mission."
Wait, what Call of Duty was this?
World War II.
Well, okay.
There's pretty much, and like the African American soldier has like a bit where he's like, "Yeah, I get it. I've dealt with racism, but like I'm here fighting alongside you guys as much as you guys." And I'm like, is this still Call of Duty?
Is this the time or the place?
And like the mission go like it's it's one of those missions where it's like constant action, and they're like at the end of the mission he's like, "You know what? I was wrong about you. You're a damn good soldier." And it's like, "I'll take it. Thank you."
Racism was solved this day by fighting Nazis. I'm never going to be able to get over the idea of Assassin's Creed in World War II. It's going to haunt my dreams.
They kind of.
If that happens, I'm blind.
They actually.
No, the post-credits scene, the apple is like in the ocean because you had a battle and it was thrown into the ocean.
So can I just say,
picks it up.
Josh, you might actually be able to play a demo of Assassin's Creed World War II, because in Assassin's Creed Unity, the Animus glitches and you sometimes go to different time periods, and one of them is World War II. And you're climbing the you still play as Arno, but he's obviously not there in real life. But like, you're climbing the Eiffel Tower in World War II, and then like you have to shoot down German planes with a fucking machine gun, and you have to climb to the top of the tower and dive through the fucking glitch in the Animus again.
That sounds awesome. I just wish it wasn't in Unity.
Honestly, Josh, I will make you a deal. If you buy Unity on PC, I will play the co-op with you.
I'm not buying shit, maybe. If Unity's like $5 and we want to...
You can get it super fucking cheap. But you will have to buy it on Ubisoft's launcher.
No, not doing it.
So, that killed all.
Yeah,
hope
that
you
killed
had. You
all
should have
hope
said
you had
that.
of me playing that with you. Like, all of it is gone. I'm thinking now that the modern day Assassin's Creed should take place during the Cold War.
I actually had the thought of Cold War, and
That
I
would
feel
be
like
that
that
would
What?
be kind of sick.
What would be like the most offensive Assassin's Creed you can like?
Okay, I did tell you about Pope Hitler, right?
No.
no, we can't do this.
Okay.
Do you want to get
Okay.
do you want to get the podcast cancelled after
This
the
will probably
50th
have to go on one of your
episode?
Twitch streams, Josh.
What are you insinuating about my Twitch stream?
Nothing.
We should probably talk about this when we go offline.
The most offensive.
No. Well, I think Jack's right. I think we should probably leave it there. We'll leave that up to our audience to decide.
Shinzo Abe comes to mind.
We're not going to have an
Oh
audience
no!
after this.
Oh no!
Did you hear that, Jack?
No,
You said
no.
you wanted it modern day.
I mean, I could think of something even more offensive.
Go ahead.
Can I say it, Jack?
Go ahead.
I was thinking more like Assassin's Creed Cronulla Riots. You could play as like
Oh
a
my god.
half Middle Eastern, half Australian assassin who's struggling with his identity on which side he should join. And like the Arabs are obviously the Templars. The Arabs are obviously the Templars. And like you have to join like
Wait,
the...
no, that's a terrible insinuation.
You have to assassinate Osama bin Laden. One of the soldiers is an assassin. it's like an ascendant.
You are
Of, like-
insinuating that the white supremacists were the assassins.
And that's when the podcast went downhill. It was at this moment Jack knew the podcast was cancelled.
50 was enough.
Like, it's crazy because now, like... But it's okay, Ubisoft can make these games because, as every Assassin's Creed will tell you, these games were made with a diverse team of multiple racial and religious backgrounds, right?
Yes.
So it's all good. And I think that'll be it for the Safe File podcast. You want to take us out, Jack?
I'm broken.
Oh, Jack!
What would be like the most terrible thing that I can think? Ah, yes, Assassin's Creed, but you're in Trump's America. There you go. That's the worst game I could possibly
That's
think
fucking Far Cry 5.
No,
Oh.
he's not wrong.
of. Oh my god.
Man's not
I forgot
wrong.
about Far Cry 5. I'd almost completely blocked out that memory, and you brought it back.
Alright, it's been Safe File
me tell you
podcast. For
about
some
Pokemon.
reason we've done this. We've done this for 50 episodes, guys, and that might be it. Who knows?
Alright.
We're signing off. Maybe for the last time. Who knows?
Signing off.
Running off.
Signing off.